Jimmy could have happened to me, and it can happen to any one of you, which is the same thing that has happened to Trayvon Martin. We do feel strongly that what happened to Trayvon Martin could have happened to anybody, any one of us here. What happened to Jimmy Mubenga shouldn't have happened. Jimmy Mubenga had the right to be in this country, and he had the right to stay in this country. He had no reason whatsoever to be deported. He was a father of 5 who was married and living with his family, and Jimmy was involved in a fight. You can imagine if somebody provokes you because you're a black person, you shouldn't fight back. You should just put your hands down and then let that person hit you. And Jimmy fought back, and because of that reason, he was sentenced to 2 years in prison. And 2 years means automatic deportation. And Jimmy, when he was fighting for deportation, he was temporarily released, and then they took him back into detention. All the people who worked at the detention centers, they came and said Jimmy was a well-behaved man in detention. And even all the flight attendants who were on duty on that particular day, they said when he came up on board, he was well behaved. They didn't see any problems. But because he has always been insisting that you cannot deport me, they're gonna kill me back in my country. And they were forcing that deportation. For the reason that Jimmy was being deported is because if the deportation doesn't go ahead, then they have to be answerable to their own bosses. And also they will lose a 300 pounds bonus. So they have to make sure that deportation goes ahead. And also they did stress that most of the time that they see the deportations are to the West Indies. That's where they mostly see the deportations go ahead. And there's a lady who was a key witness called Louise Graham. She was the flight attendant working in the area where Jimmy was. And she said that the way they were handling Jimmy, he had 3 officers from G4S, one on either side, one on the left, right, and one on the front. And they were needing him. That's the word she used in the court. They were needing him. And she said people didn't take any action because even the flight attendants who were working on the plane, they were even scared of the G4S. They were even showing them that the impression they were getting was Jimmy was faking a heart attack. So nobody took any action. The staff went to the captain, they went to the cabin crew manager, and they were ridiculed. And also there's another guy called Ayo before who took action when he saw somebody who was being tried to be deported, and he was arrested and he was thrown out of the flight, and they took away even the money that he had because he was going to attend a family wedding. And they took away his money. And for the same reason, I guess nobody took any action. There was one witness who said he feels sorry and regret that he didn't take any action, and he said he's gonna be haunted for the rest of his life because he didn't take any action. He said if he had done something, most probably Jim would have died. So we're not going to stop until we see justice for Jimmy, and we are calling for corporate manslaughter charges. And we also want, and for Sean Riggs' family, exactly the same thing that happened to Jimmy is the same way that they killed him. You can imagine you're sitting on the flight. You know that table in front of the seat. It was on top of Jimmy's head. They couldn't even find his head. The flight attendant said we tried to go several times. They couldn't even locate his head. But you could just see the 3 G4S security guards moving their shoulders. And they were needing him. And as a result, they killed him. And it was a good verdict that came out. It was the majority was 9-1. Yes. Good.
Okay, thank you very much. I would like to now call somebody from the Newen Monitoring Project who's going to give a solidarity message to us.
Monitoring.
Greetings, my name is Sarkar Deshmukh. I've come here to speak on behalf of Newen Monitoring Project and United Family and Friends and the Justice for PAPS campaign as well. Newen Monitoring Project, NMP, is one of the oldest anti-racist organisations in East London, and it's been fighting against racial harassment and police brutality for more than 30 years now. So a big shout of support from them today. I got a message a bit earlier on, they couldn't come, so they've asked me to speak as I do some work with them. The other hat I'm wearing is that I'm part of the United Family and Friends campaign, which is a coalition of all the families that have died in police custody, including Sean Rigg, Jimmy Mabenga, some of the people who have spoken today. We're the kind of people that someone dies, we'll be outside the police station within half an hour, within an hour. We'll make sure we mobilise. And one of the things I say to you, it's been great that people don't come outside the embassy today, but you need to come outside the police station when they kill one of us. So be it Brixton Police Station, or Scotland Yard, or High Wycombe Police Station, or Slough Police Station, they're all the vigils that we've gone in. I've gone outside, in snow, in the summer. No matter how cold it's been, no matter how hot it's been, we've made sure that we are outside the police station. The family campaign that I would particularly want to speak about is the Justice for Paps campaign. You can find us on a website, on Facebook. Habibullah, Paps' nickname, died during a stop and search in July 2008, just a month before Sean Rigg tragically died as well. So we kind of linked with that campaign for time. Habib Paps was killed during a routine drug search in a car park that had no CCTV cameras. There were 5 police officers who stood on top of him trying to get a wrap of drugs out of his mouth, during which he collapsed and died. We've had a 5-year struggle, and you hear many families talk about this, that we've had to go and do the investigation ourselves. We've had to put pressure on the IPCC, on Thames Valley Police, to make sure there was a thorough investigation. And what's been coming up in the news in the last few months in particular has been all the smearing and intimidation tactics that have been used on families, such as the Stephen Lawrence campaign in particular, where we found in recent weeks the police try to put undercover people in there to try and intimidate and smear the campaign. The same thing has happened with the Habib campaign, where they've tried to put people to infiltrate us, and recently they've tried to smear the campaign and bring people against us. So we fought against this, and inshallah, as we say, we're hoping that those 5 police officers will face a criminal trial, because that's the other thing we've got to mention, is that we don't have any police being prosecuted. So, what do you feel about that? Police being prosecuted? Yes? Because that's what we're looking for. Because we truly believe until there is justice, there cannot be peace. You cannot have power without accountability. So it doesn't matter if it's Thames Valley, or Metropolitan, or West Midlands, or G4S. We want their badge, we want them out, we want them nicked. So I implore you to look us up on Facebook, on the website, Justice for Paps. We're proud to stand with the family of Trayvon Martin in America and the other families that have gone through miscarriages of justice. Respect. Peace out.
We're going to have one more speech. It's a solidarity message from a gentleman from all the way from Austria. And then after that, we're going to go back and do a few more chants. We're going to have some more dub poetry as well. So we'll waste no time and give this over to the guy from Brooklyn.
Hello? Hello. I'm from Austria, and me and my friends, we came to London a few days ago. Yesterday we heard that you meet today to remember Trayvon Martin and to fight for justice. Of course we had to join and to show our solidarity. Yeah, let's fight this racist system, black and white, unite and fight. Solidarity from Austria, and we will join your fight.
It's nice to see someone come such a long way and still wants to give solidarity message. Okay, now for some entertainment, consciousness, edutainment. I'm going to bring in Respect Fayabingi. Okay.
Yes, people, chant with me. Good over evil!
Good over evil!
Power to the people.
Good over evil.
Good over evil.
Power to the people.
Power to the people.
Good over evil.
Good over evil.
Power to the people.
Power to the people.
Listen, because I was sent to educate, not water down the struggle in a hustle just to entertain. They don't understand we're in a war every day, because it's a battle just to see a brother elevate. So I was sent to educate, not water down the struggle in a hustle just to entertain. They don't understand we're in a war every day, because it's a battle just to see a brother elevate. It's a battle just to see a brother on the rise. And when you see us on the rise, you know them shots will fly. If you're trying to help the people, you must want to die. Because everyone that stood for something, they done lost their life. We could all be victims of a homicide. So when you're fighting for your freedom, know the cost and price. We don't deserve to win if we ain't gonna fight. As long as every time we fight, we're fighting for what's right. Self-defense is not a crime. So how can I respect their rules if they don't honor mine? They don't care if we live rotten because they got it nice. They never scrape from the bottom of the pot of rice. If a man's not free, he is not alive. Knowledge is the key to unlock your mind. And if we don't seek peace, we ain't gonna rise. Don't get in too deep, that's the bottom line. So I was sent to educate, not water down the struggle, and the hustle just to entertain. They don't understand we're in a war every day. Cause it's a battle just to see my sisters elevate. It's a battle got me standing with a shield and sword. Cause they attack us and it feels like we can't heal no more. They say I'm robbing in the hood, what am I stealing for? To take from the rich so I can feed the poor. I don't listen to their twisted laws. They see us struggling in pain and they still ignore. Someone told me that he wished that they would listen more. I told him, look at our position, we can't wish no more. It's got you dreaming while you sleep and snore. It's time to fight the system cause the system's flawed. When they say I risk my life, I say they're risking more. Cause my freedom is the only thing I'm living for. This is the reason for me being born. I don't need to think about it cause I'm really sure. I don't want to see another soldier hit the floor. We lost some battles, but I know that we can win the war. We live in a terrorist system right now, and it's just about education, and that's all I'm about really, education. You know, fighting this battle with knowledge. I'm gonna finish it with this. You see, the system's full of prisoners with benefits. Those integrated, they be telling us to live with it. You say this cause you're gripping to the privilege. Racist cause you choose to be ignorant. Invasion and enslavement of villages. They came in as rapists and pillagers. When they say, can't we put aside the differences? The same day we get our land and our millions. Look at what you now call Americas, colonized by some damn dusty settlers. What's Latino, Hispanic, Mexican, Taiwan, Tinsi, you nations what they represent. But in their own land, they're called immigrants. Nikantaka, that means indigenous. Fighting back so they teach that we're militant. We're just in love with our freedom and intimate. I say things some would never say, cause they concentrate on selling songs and getting paid. Love for my people, so they're telling me I'm spreading hate. They got it twisted, so I guess I gotta set them straight. They want me jumping like a monkey just to entertain. Ain't nothing ever funny when I educate. See, they ain't never had to suffer in this ghetto place, where your brother kills your brother cause he's still enslaved. Revolution, they be scared of change. Africa in peace, that's heaven's gate, telling me to integrate, telling me to segregate. I just want to get away and see my people elevate. Keep calm's what the devil says, cause he ain't felt half of this rebel's pain. Killed my ancestors, so some say that I'm very brave. I say it's nothing cause this brother doesn't fear the grave. You see, the global system's white supremacy. I just want to live in love, they want to see the death of me. And I just want us living heavenly. They want to see us deep into we're sleeping in the cemeteries. Martin Luther, yeah, they say we can't forget the dream. But while we're living in this nightmare, you're dead asleep. Do we want to live in peace? Definitely. Without justice, that is something that there'll never be. I never picked it, it was destiny. The forces trying to destroy me is my enemy. If I die, don't cry or pour Hennessy. Just fight the villains in the system to remember me. See, our ancestors been fighting there for centuries. So I'll be fighting revolution when I'm 70. And if they put me in the prison or they bury me, it's revolutionary how I leave my legacy.
Give thanks and praises, Rasmaya Bindi. What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
When?
Now!
When?
Now!
When?
Now!
When?
Now!
When? believe the prosecution and the words they used, the contentment they had with the verdict. It was astonishing. And hence, could there be something in the future to, when they offer a state prosecutor, is there something that we can do to be able to have some say on who the state prosecutor is? Because I don't think this state prosecutor in the Trayvon Martin case did a good job at all. I don't think they acted in the interest of the Trayvon Martin family, and I don't think if they believe justice has been served now, they're living on another planet. What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
How are we gonna get it? 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 What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it? No justice! 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 No accountability! No accountability! No accountability! The shameless people who come and portray Trayvon Martin as the assailant, they have no conscience, they have no shame. We must expose this wicked and pernicious media who want to vilify the victim and they want to champion the murderer. What kind of society is that?
Racist!
What kind of society is that?
Racist!
Is this justice? What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
No justice!
Peace!
No justice! No justice! No justice! I'm now going to hand you over to Brother Justin, who's got a few words he'd like to say. Thank you very much.
No justice!
No peace!
Hi, my name's Justin. I'm from a group called South London Anti-Fascists. What we do in South London is organise local communities, work with mosques, work with local faith and community groups against racists. That's what we do. And thank you. And what I'd like to say is, I'm upset by what's happened, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that once again, another black person has been killed and the murderer has been acquitted. I'm not surprised that there is no justice for people who look like me. I wish it was different, but it's not. People would say that, oh, now we got a black president. This can't happen again. Troy Davis. There's been so many injustices. There's the case of Howard Martin, a former police officer himself. He happened to be black, so not exactly someone I would consider to be a fan of. He survived in Chicago, 28 shots by other police officers. He was off duty. And what happened to him? Those police officers charged him for violent conduct. They said that he attempted murder, like he tried to kill all these police officers. That's why they had to shoot him 28 times. And the Chicago court found him guilty. He's now serving 40 years in prison. Howard Martin. You look him up. I can give people details about it. Unfortunately, a lot of injustices that happen don't get on the radar. There's another Trayvon Martin today. Apologies, I haven't got his name. But he was killed like November of the same year, 2012. And again, the person who killed him, a white man who basically said, you're playing your music too loud, so I'm going to shoot you. And he did that. Then he ordered himself a pizza. He hasn't even been arrested. So there isn't any justice. There is just us. There isn't any justice. There is just us. Apologies. So, what I'm here to say today is that if we want something that we recognize as justice, it's not going to be American justice. It's not going to be British justice. British justice is what Jimmy Mabenga has suffered. British justice is what Mark Duggan has suffered. So what are we going to do? We need to organize. We need to unite. Not on, oh, because we're all black. Oh, because we're all socialists. Oh, because we're all got the same ideas. No, we don't have the same ideas. We don't have the same experiences. We unite on practical grounds. When, as the brother who spoke before me, Sakib, from the United Friends and Families campaign, as he said, when one of us is shot, we need to be outside. We need to be outside at a police station. Only last month, I can tell you that another brother, similar age to me, his first name's Jason, Woolworth police beat the shit out of him. They beat the shit out of him. Excuse my language for the little children here. But sometimes you need to hear what's going on. And you know what's happened? He's been charged. He's been charged for obstructing police justice. Sound familiar? We need to organise. That's why we've got South London Anti-Fascists. That's why we've got United Friends and Family Campaign. But United Friends and Family Campaign, their last demo this year, I was at. And bro, there was about roughly the same numbers as we got right now. And we know that our experiences are much broader than the people who are here today. We know that the system is not set up in our benefit. Trayvon Martin wasn't killed because he had a hoodie or because he carried Skittles. He was killed because he was working class and black and happened to be in the wrong neighborhood. Let's organize. If you want to get involved, I'm going to be here. There's other people who are in the group who can talk to you. We're going to be working with, we've worked with New and Monitoring Project. We're going to continue to represent and support the brother who I mentioned in Woolworth, in Camberwell. We're going to continue to organize. We look at the EDL, we look at the BNP and we think, oh, they're the racists.
Tip of the iceberg.
Tip of the iceberg. Who killed Mark Duggan? Who killed Mark Duggan?
Police.
Who killed Smiley Culture?
Police.
Who are the murderers?
Police.
Who are the murderers?
Police.
Who are the murderers?
Police.
Solidarity.